Hello! Surprise, surprise, it's me again. Like I said, from my previous video, I'm gonna try and record as many videos as possible today. My goal is at least 5, whether they be really long or short. I'll try to keep them between 10-20 minutes. Today I'm telling the story of my very first studio session. My very first studio session was, I think, on July 19, 2019. So I started rapping in May of 2019, like a few days before I turned 15. So I started off with a USB mic. Like I said in my previous video, I used Audacity. Plenty of people use Audacity to record. It's a lot of options out there now. You know, if you're not too much into a DAW like FL, or you're not too much into Logic, because I know they're very expensive. Many people nowadays use BandLab. I think this rapper named Lil Tyler started off with BandLab and one of his songs blew up. So that goes to prove you don't need the best of the best to make quality music, which is pretty cool if you think about it. You know, the very thing you're put down for can be the same thing to rise and bring you up. So I started off with Audacity. When I made my first song, I'll put a little, probably 4 or 5 second clip.
Pull up in the four and the money be calling. The haters surround me, but I know they watching. Flex in the crowd with 100 racks. Flex in the crowd with 100.
Yeah, I know, it's trash. Too much auto-tune. Too much, well, it's just a lot. Here's the thing. I didn't know what I was doing. I did not know how to mix. I didn't know how to master. I didn't even know what that was. I just went into Audacity. I set up my mic on this very computer right on the side of me. Guys can't see it, but before I got my laptop, I used to record in here in the living room. I started recording, and yeah, I remember the exact same things I used to do too. I used to put auto-tune, G-snap. Then I used to go and use the equalizer, or EQ. I didn't know how to use the EQ, but in Audacity, they have this like setting where it's like you want more treble, more bass, basically presets. And I didn't know, I knew what treble and bass was, but when it came to my vocals, I just picked whichever sound good, which is good if you know what to listen for. You know, you can't be on a busy street, on a highway or something, and listening out for a train. You're not gonna find a train on the highway. I hope not. But then I used to like normalize after every setting I used. Compression, vocals really quiet. And it didn't sound the best. Not surprisingly, it didn't sound the best. But to me, I thought, damn, I'm Jay-Z. I made a hit. Turn me up in the studio right now. Like, I put it online, I was getting ridiculed on SoundCloud. Like, I wish I had screenshot some of them comments. Like, I was getting ridiculed on SoundCloud. Like, oh, you're trash. Your vocals are so robotic. Turn down the auto-tune, which they were right. It was trash. It's garbage. I listen to my own music now, and I love and just hate it. Because, one, it's my creation. It's what I had in my mind. Now, if I could make it sound better, I would. But, you know, a lot of time has passed, and I can't really find the vocal files or even have them saved. Because, again, I didn't know what I was doing. But, you know, I thought that was the best. At that time period, I made like 4 songs. Their names were Dreamland, Planet Water, Love Letter, and Menace. Like I said, I don't know if I'll probably release the other 3 songs or put a little clip in this. But yeah, you know, two of those songs I think I did with my cousin. Planet Water we did. That was our first song together. We made as MTS. That was our first song. So after recording, a whole situation went down with my microphone after we started MTS, and we wanted to make this group. Like I said, that's a story I'll have to tell after this one, because my goal is 5 videos today. So my microphone got destroyed, headphones destroyed, they weren't working anymore. It's June. It's like June, I think June it happened, or like late May. But July, I don't have an option to record. I can't record. Mic's destroyed. And I'm to the point where I'm listening to other people's music, especially at that time. And I'm like, my music don't sound like their music. I want my music to sound like that. So I went online, like any normal person would do, and I started looking for producers. I started looking for people who had studios, people who recorded music, who knew what they were doing, because clearly I didn't. And it wasn't an easy process, because I'm 15. I'm still in school, even though school was closed at that time. It was summertime. My parents were working. So getting a ride back and forth was a real hassle, which would be another reason I invested into a home studio. If you're an artist and you're taking music seriously, I highly recommend investing into your own studio. It'll save you a lot of money. Like, I record probably 2-3 songs per day, or at least try to get like 2 or 3 songs a week with my busy work schedule. And to record those songs, the average session in like a decent studio would be like $50. So that would be like $100 to record. We're not even talking about mixing and mastering, because a lot of studios, rightfully so, has a lot of different prices for mixing and mastering. Sometimes they'll just throw a quick mix on it. There you go. But I went into the phone book, yes, the yellow and white pages, and I went online and I found this guy who had a studio. He lived out east. It was like his own home studio. And long story short, I got my cousin to go with me. We're booking a session. The first time I booked a session, I couldn't meet up with him because I didn't have a ride. I think my dad was working that day, so no one could, and my mom was to work, so no one could take me. So I booked another session with him. I think it was like 10:30, because I was trying to, no, like definitely 10 o'clock, because I was trying to get in the studio as fast as possible. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hop in there and record. So 10 o'clock we get to the studio, we get inside. We're greeted by a man, probably early 40s. We go into the studio, we go into the room. There's 2 rooms. There's, what was it? Like I wouldn't say a bedroom, but it wasn't too small to be a closet. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna call it a bedroom. It was like a bedroom. It had all type of old equipment. Like, I got in there, I was kind of iffy, because he had a different photo up on his profile showing a completely different studio, which when I got there completely shocked me. So a lot of old equipment was sitting up on the walls. It was sitting on the desk. Old MIDI keyboard, old computer. And at this point, I'm like, where's the mic? Where's the mic? So, yeah, I'm like, where's the mic? Where's the mic? Where's the equipment? Where's the new equipment? You know? What I saw in his profile picture is not matching the room right now. So he takes me to this different room. Of course, my cousin comes with me. He takes me to this different room, which has the mic and a chair in it. So I'm like, okay, we're not being robbed. And we started recording. At this point, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time being around someone and recording. I was recording the song named Outlaw. I think a few days prior, I went on YouTube and found the beat for that song, which unfortunately I lost. He sent it to me, but I don't know if I accidentally deleted it or just something happened to it, but yeah. The studio session was like $100. He charged $100 for an hour, but we'll get to that part later. So I'm recording, I'm nervous. Finally finished the song. We listened to it back. It's 10:30 at this point. We listened to it back, and I'm like, me and my cousin were in the corner, we're sitting down, we're laughing. And he's like, yeah, they always laugh. And truth be told, we didn't mean to laugh like, oh, this sucks. Which, yes, we did, because it did suck. So we're listening to it back. And we're like, hey, this is no mixing, no auto-tune on it. And he's not saying anything. So he asked for my email after the session was over. Keep in mind, it's still 10:30. It was like 10:36 when we left. He sent it to my email. He tells me I have a certain time period because something will happen to it if I don't download it in this time period. I think the song is still on my old phone. I don't know if I downloaded it, but I think the song's on my old phone, but my old phone screen is terribly cracked. So I'll probably have to get that fixed if I want to go back and get that song. But yeah, it was $100. It was a 30-minute session. We paid for an hour. And that was my first studio experience. That was me and my cousin's first studio experience. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I rated a 5. Nah, 5.5. 5.5. Yeah. It wasn't the best circumstance, considering the details of it, but it wasn't the worst. I mean, you know, I know how it is to struggle with doing something you love and trying to get paid to do it. So I wasn't even mad when I gave him the 100, because it's like, you know what? I got an experience, I got a lesson, and this is a story I could always tell for a long time. You know, like I'm telling it now. And we got a few laughs out of it. We got laughs out of it. You know, my dad was sitting in the corner the whole time. He was just looking. So we all got a laugh out of it. Even to this day, we're still laughing about it. Me and my cousin still laugh about it. I wish we would record more. Like, we did record like small vlogs back in like 2020, 2021. But I wish we would have recorded more of the process. I wish I would have recorded more of my come up, my process. But, you know, can't get everything. Some moments are just meant to be forgotten, you know. So that was it. That was my very first studio session.